Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Tech Tip. Today, we're going to take a look at how we can organize panel sheets using sheet parameters. Usually, when generating sheets, they're usually grouped within a section of the project browser under the Sheets heading. Here you'll see we have a number of sheets already created, and if I want to arrange these, the usual method would be to go to our browser organization under the Sheets heading, where we can either use one of the existing browser organization criteria, or we can create a new one. So for now, I'm going to create one called sheet parameters and click OK. From here, we can use filters if we want to, filter the information to exclude certain things, and we can also use the grouping and sorting option. Maybe I want to group the panels, so I can group all of my framing, plywood, and gypsum wallboard drawings together, in which case I'll use the sheet name parameter to do that. We can also add additional criteria as well to filter the list even further if we need to do that. Once I click OK, I want to apply my new browser organization style and click OK. You can see now our sheets are grouped by framing, gypsum wallboard, and plywood. So this is just one of the methods you can use to group your sheets in a certain way if you want to do that. But what I want to do is show you a method which is more effective in my opinion, and this will allow you to group your sheets based on a user-defined criteria. So in my view on the left, you'll see we have 3 units. Each of these units has a number of panels. I want to be able to group and associate my panels with the unit that they belong to, so I'll be able to find and identify them easily within my sheet list. The first thing I'll need to do is create a sheet parameter so I can group my panels within my project browser under Unit A, Unit B, and Unit C based on the units they belong to. So to create a sheet parameter, I'm going to go to the Manage tab, click on Project Parameters, where I can now create a new project parameter. Here I can define a project-specific parameter which will only be available in this project, or I can create a shared parameter which will make my newly created parameter available in any project from this point onwards. For now, I'm going to click on the project parameter option, and I'm going to call my parameter sheet grouping, as it's used to group my sheets. I want this parameter to be instance-based, as this is going to be assigned to each independent sheet. The discipline will remain as common. The data type will be text, as this is going to be a naming value. And I'm going to group this under the text heading, although other heading options are available. You can choose the category you want to assign your newly created parameter to. And as this is a sheet parameter, I want to make sure I'm selecting sheets. If I wanted to double check that I'm selecting the correct parameter, correct category, and that I'm not selecting too many, I can hide unchecked categories to see which options are selected. I'll hit OK, and our sheet parameter is now available. So I'll click OK again. So with our newly created parameter, we want to check that it's associated with our sheets. So I'm going to go into my project browser, select a panel sheet at random, and we can see in our Sheets instance properties, we have our sheet grouping parameter under the text heading. So now what we want to do is associate our sheet grouping parameter with our panels. To do that, I'm going to go into my plan view, where you'll see that we have Unit A, Unit B, and Unit C. Each of these units have panels associated with each unit. So for panel A, we have panels ranging from panel 1 to panel 13. So to associate the parameter to these selected panels, I'm going to go to my project browser, into my Sheets browser organization, and I want to disassociate the sheet parameters option at the moment. This is going to send my panels back into a state where they're not sorted by framing, plywood, and gypsum. I'm going to select panel 1 all the way to panel 13, going to hold shift and select the panels in between those 2 points. From there, in the instance properties, I want to associate these with unit A. For panels belonging to unit B, these are going to go from panel 14. So we've got panel 14 ranging to panel 29. So for those panels, I'm going to select panel 14 and I'm going to stop my selection at panel 29. Again, in the instance properties, I'm going to enter a value so I can associate these with unit B. And finally, we have the remaining panels ranging from 30 to 42. So I'm going to select all of these panels and again, associate a value to associate these with unit C. So within my project browser, what I want to do now is go back to my sheet browser organization, sheet parameters, and I want to edit my sheet parameters browser organization style. Under grouping and sorting, I want to use group by, and I want to select my sheet grouping parameter. I can also say then by, and I can say sheet name. So I can group them firstly by unit A, unit B, unit C, and then I can group them based on them being part of the framing, plywood, or gypsum wallboard. So I'll click OK. I want to assign this as my selected style and click OK here again. Now we'll see that our panels are grouped based on unit A, unit B, and unit C. If I extend the list, you'll see they're sorted based on framing, gypsum wallboard, and plywood. And then we'll be able to see each sheet belonging to that list. This is just an example of what you can do for your naming convention. Obviously have a play around, see what works best for you. We can also associate these with our shop drawings as well. So if I go to MWF, into my drawing operations, I'll also show you where we can associate this value if we need to add additional panels to these units. So I'll go to my Wall Drawings Manager, into my shop drawing settings, and we can look at our sheet layout properties. So here we're looking at our sheets specifically for our framing shops, plywood and gypsum wallboard. If you wanted to use a naming convention that automatically sorts them based on them being our framing shop drawings, we can then scroll down to our sheet naming method where we have our framing shop drawing naming convention here. We've got a numbering method based on panel name. This is the panel 1, panel 2, for example. And then we've got the sheet parameter option where we can use an available sheet parameter and we can associate any one of these values. So when we generate our sheet, it's automatically going to be grouped under unit A, B, or C. So that's all for how to organize panel drawings using sheet parameters. I hope you found it useful. Have a great day.